Yo.
Yeah, what's good, y'all? This is BlackGod ThePod. I'm Sage Walker.
Cameron Galloway, what's happening?
We about to start this up, man, because we be having some real dope conversations, and we don't want to leave anything on the table when it comes to you know letting people know what we got going on, what we about. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but yeah. Anyways, what the hell was we talking about?
Uh Before we decided to just do the broadcast, uh it started with Trump and Biden. Started with
Oh
Trump and
yeah,
Biden.
he trolled the fuck out that nigga.
Yeah. It's
But see, they deserved it. They deserve this. They deserve each other. This is
bro,
like the dichotomy.
bro,
It's almost like Krishna and Vishnu, almost like
it's amazing entertainment.
yeah,
Like, if you're not taking it seriously, it's amazing entertainment.
yeah,
If you are taking it seriously, then it's amazing entertainment. I just, I just personally implore people to not take it too seriously because it is entertainment. It's pro wrestling. This is
yeah,
Vince McMahon shit.
yeah, and that's what I'm getting at though. Like so the Trump, it's like what Trump is doing and what Biden is doing is both wrong, right? Because they playing into they're playing into the underpinning feelings and shit like that of you know I guess what you could call people on their base or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like that shit's fucked up. Like what Trump is doing with like you said earlier, I'm about to put this shit down. Shit. Goddamn. But like you were saying, man, um, he's just playing the game. Trump is the master of that.
Oh, absolutely.
He's the master of that shit. He
Yeah.
mastered it like completely.
He's yeah,
But I just want people to understand that both of these motherfuckers ain't shit. Like
they're terrible.
they're horrible people. Like
Absolutely. Allegedly, they do heinous things to people. And I'm not really gonna go into too many more details. Just know that a lot of the theories of conspiracy that you hear aren't necessarily false.
right. Yeah. A lot of that shit. Man, we know how these old, you know what's get down. We know how they get down, man. It ain't just
Yeah.
them either. It's our old people too. Old nigga got down.
Well, humans in general,
Yeah.
like people tend to be pieces of shit.
Yeah, man. I want to talk to you about this shit too. Did you
What's the
see the kid, little black kid, looked like he about 16, 17 years old. He came up with a petro fluid, with a custom petro fluid that he makes out of plastic.
plastic? Yeah, that's
Yo,
genius.
we need to protect this kid at all costs, whatever his name is. I don't know what his name is. I'm gonna find out. But this shit, we're getting away from gasoline no matter what. This is the last, I think this is like the last couple decades of gasoline.
Uh, it should have been over 100 years ago.
Yeah, man. The petrodollar.
That's a nasty part. Like, if you want to turn this thing into a whole conspiracy theory pod, I can go full Joe Rogan out here. Like, the man who invented diesel fuel made diesel fuel out of hemp oil, bro.
Yeah, man. All that shit.
Fully renewable. That man died under mysterious circumstances. And it's, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. And that damn it's a lot of shit, man. That man that made the water the hydro engine
Oh,
in Buffalo.
yeah, the brother that got killed in the grocery store conveniently. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. I thought that was a conspiracy theory too. I was like literally I don't know what I said specifically, but I know this I distinctly remember not believing that. Not because it was unbelievable, but I was like, there's no way, that's too convenient. Ain't no fucking way. There's no way that happened.
Yeah,
Like as in to say, like, come on.
yeah.
And lo and behold,
That bro,
you go look that shit up.
they're not hiding it anymore. They're like, all right. I haven't watched the Grammys yet, right? But from what I hear about the Grammys, thank you, sir, is that They did a whole satanic ritual before the hip hop.
They did a satanic ritual, and I told you about it, LeBron's new movie. And
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James' new movie. They did a whole, not even just a satanic ritual.
Wait, don't say it's LeBron James' new movie. What's the name?
Well, I didn't want to say the name of the movie because I don't want to. This is here. All right, okay. All right. It's House Party.
The House Party.
The new House Party reboot.
In your opinion, they.
In my opinion.
There you go.
They had it. I mean, it ain't even. It says explicitly.
Mm-mm. We're on YouTube. We're on YouTube.
Hey, I get it. I get it. Look. In the movie,
got dance around.
I'm not gonna spoil the movie for people who haven't seen it. But all I'm saying is,
spoiler alert,
is that Kid Cudi said something, and then I was like, and then they go do something, and then I'm like,
I got you.
And then something else happened while they doing that, and I'm like,
is this the same Kid Cudi from How I Make an America TV show? It's a great TV show. You ain't seen it before?
I ain't seen it.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's on HBO.
But Cudi is a funny motherfucker, though. He's the perfect motherfucker to get for that movie. I ain't gonna lie, that movie's funny.
I enjoy Bro's music. I respect people's choice of what they wear, but Bro went on SNL with a dress on. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, man. That not only that though. Sorry, y'all. If y'all see me looking up, it's because I'm looking at another screen. Pay me no mind. But it's not only that though. Like I think Kid Cudi may be one of the people that we thought was compromised, but really isn't compromised. Or he's compromised in a different way. Like he's not compromised in that way, but he's compromised by something else, like a substance or.
He's said that.
Yeah.
He's compromised by substances, which many artists are.
Yeah.
I appreciate and respect his transparency with that. There's a lot of people dealing with substance abuse issues. And yeah, I feel like it's therapeutic and beneficial for tons of people. Even though a ton of people ain't that many. It's only 2,000 pounds. It's like 10, 200 pounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Like I feel like in this age moving forward, that the group versus individual dynamic must change.
Yes.
And to elaborate, I mean that the way we tend to use we as in there's a movement, right? The movement hasn't been the quote unquote movement for the Negro people of America. Moors, I'm sorry. Yeah. For us, the nigger
the munchies.
Yeah. Yeah. Dane Calloway says
the niggers.
Dane Calloway says American Negro Indian.
Yeah.
Just that's very concise. I like
that's what we are though. I mean, and like but I had somebody on Twitter.
Hold on, let me
go ahead, finish that thought
real quick. Group versus individual, right? So the movement was a movement, and it still is a movement in many respects. Like we have the NOI, More Science Simple, various different groups. But I feel like the we that we need to speak about should be a much more consolidated version of we. We as in family, we as in community, and once we as individuals get our shit together, then we can make our families, communities, and states and larger environments more sustainable and better for our benefit, right?
Right.
Because a lot of times we go top down, like Reaganomics, like trickle down don't work.
Nah, you 100. Grab this water real quick.
But grassroots works.
Make sure you drink plenty of water, kids.
Yeah, please drink your water. How you think we look so young right now?
Yeah,
straight up. But yeah, man. Like Black Panthers, politically guerrilla, and they stopped the Black Panthers. They had to infiltrate so hard that like 60% was compromised
Let me
by the time they brought them down.
let me interject this one thought.
Hmm.
So now the narrative that they're teaching is that slaves did not build this country, natives did not build this country, and that the European settlers built this country, and that the European settlers deserve to reap the benefits of building this country because they came up with the greatest idea in democracy in history. This is why people like Ron DeSantis are having books removed from shelves in Florida,
Hmm.
because this is the new narrative that they're teaching.
Hmm.
Now, let me just put it like this, right? Because there's truth in every lie, and there's lies in every truth.
Hmm.
So have the European settlers contributed to our world? Absolutely. I think that they have contributed. Now, did they build this country? No, absolutely not. They built something on top of what was already here,
That
but they
all
didn't build it.
also all the European settlers weren't white, pale skinned,
Right. Some of them were swarthy.
right, and tawny and every shade in between. Um, that's a funky narrative, bro. Like, also, I'm mad at him for pushing it because it's some bullshit. I'm not mad at him for pushing it because I understand warfare and he's doing what he's supposed to do for his side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the strategist and the general inside me applauds moves like that because when you get the power, you're supposed to flex a little bit and push your own agenda. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, they contributed. They also contributed rape and genocide and massacre for
Right.
500 years,
Right. And
530
and
years.
that's the part you can't. That's the part that is inextricably connected to the history of the settler colonial system.
Right.
And the settler colonial system is a system in which we still live today. Not only do we live in it, people in the Philippines live in it.
You weren't 23, bro.
People in China live in it. Yeah, I snatched that.
China, I mean, China's system is this
India,
situation is uh yeah,
everybody lives in the settler colonial system right now. And the reason is because of Great Britain. Every form of why all right. If China really had their own model of government, why ain't everybody wearing gi when they sit at Congress?
but that
They're just like Europeans.
true.
It's every facet of the
But
culture.
but also China didn't colonize like the Europeans did.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's
Right.
what I'm getting
Okay.
at is
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
saying that China was colonized by Europe as well. Every
Yeah.
place, there's not a place on
They
this planet that they didn't colonize.
they just didn't get it like we got it.
Right.
They
They could actually integrate. They're becoming, I mean, for all intents and purposes now, they're redrawing the racial lines and saying that, well, fair skinned Chinese people essentially, for all intents and purposes, are just white people. And that's true.
it is. Well, yes and no.
They got their own munges too. I mean, they got their own, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same. It's relatively the same. Like,
Yeah.
it's like that all over the planet too. Like, you got to look at it over here even before they even set foot on this land. You had Iroquois and you had Hopi
Yeah.
and Munjans and the Tuscarora, who are, while some of them are fair skinned, they
Tuscarora are Iroquois though.
well, yeah, that's what I mean. They look like, almost like Italians, almost a little bit.
Well,
They look European, is what I mean. Like they could pass.
well, yes. Now,
Back then they couldn't.
it depends on like when you go into the history of colonization.
But they get offended if you assume they white.
Of
Tuscaroraans do.
as they should.
They get mad. Like
So-
they'll correct you.
So the Lumbee people, and as they should, is inaccurate.
Right.
But we before European colonization, we had every single shade of people and hair texture. That's why when the Europeans got over here, they said that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And all of them said that.
Well, they said Cortez said that the first people that he encountered, that was exactly 500 years ago in
With Negroes.
1523. Yeah, 1523.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said the first people he encountered
Negroes.
appeared as Abyssinian.
Yeah. Is but that's the worst trick that we were played. Like they played on us to make us say that we didn't come from here or a part of our ancestry didn't, because quiet as it's kept, us is the quote unquote American Negro. A lot of us have European in our ancestry. The question is, who are these Europeans? There's a lot of people get mad and be like, I ain't got no white people in my family.
Yeah, you do. British.
Well, were they were they pale, swarthy, tawny, ruddy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Well, we do. We kind of know.
Unless we do the research.
We kind of know. I mean, where you got to look at the locale, right?
Well,
so we're from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Our bloodlines are from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
What type of white people came here? All different ones, but which ones primarily came here and intermingled with the local population here? Yeah. It's mostly British for the most part, about 80%. The rest were maybe German and French.
No, they came from Britain. It was mostly Scottish and Irish.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Scott, like the Lord's, the people from the same line that started the slave trade or the slave not population. That started the plantations rather in or their ancestors started the plantations in Jamaica.
Because I got a good one.
And they exported it here in North Carolina.
I got a real good one for you. Sir Walter Raleigh. He was a French Huguenot, and his first 3 or 4 voyages were filled with nothing but French Huguenots.
Right. That's why I said about 80%, because I know that France and I know that
but he wasn't the only one.
Germany too.
In the early days, it was a large. This is coming off the heels of the Spanish Inquisition, right? So, what the Inquisition is doing.
Right.
They get in the Saracens, they get in the Moors, they get in the Sephardic,
and they get in all the Jews.
That's what they're. You know what I'm saying? They're getting the Sephardic Jews, the Muslims.
They tribute to our God.
Right. And these people are getting the fuck up out of Europe. First, they're moving within Europe to like Denmark and Sweden and Switzerland and different places, England, that are more tolerant. And then they're like, we gotta get the fuck up out of here, right? So on the Spanish side, it was mostly Moriscos that were making these trips, or conversos. Right. They're Jews and Muslims who became Catholics.
Right.
So they're making the trips for Spain, damn near the entire time. For the other countries, the people who are making the trips are these immigrants, these European immigrants, these illegal European immigrants. Mm-hmm. Going from
illegal as hell. Stowaways.
Yeah, well, not stowaway. They got, these are.
They found out this shit was here and just kind of banded together and just left.
They knew this shit was here. They knew.
Yeah, that's one of those things too in history that it's no way that they fucking didn't know this shit was here. That's just the most nonsensical thing, because that Mansa Musa, they got Ryan Coogler is about to put out a whole movie about this. It's a lot of white people off, because it's gonna show Mansa Musa in the 1200s and 1300s and that lineage building boats and going to the New World and setting up commerce over there long before the Europeans ever set foot on this land.
The ancient Scots,
200-300 years prior.
There's a hypothesis the ancient Scots are actually from here. There's another hypothesis that the ancient Irish are from here. Leif Erikson and Vikings went up the Hudson River and got their ass kicked and went the fuck back. And they said what it was.
So they might have immigrated from here to there first. Hey, I can see that as a narrative.
There's archaeological evidence, right?
Yeah.
And linguistic evidence and blah, 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is, the narrative we've been told is folly, it's poppycock, it's fallacy, it's hogwash, it's balderdash. See, my people talk about why you cuss so much. My vocabulary is nice.
Well, they
Curses, punctuation. God damn it.
intelligent people use cuss words. But no, the real truth of the matter is, man, this narrative that they're telling, they're doing this for two reasons.
Mhm,
So, number one, like I said, there's truth in every lie, right?
mhm,
So, if we can hinge this whole thing on skin color,
mhm.
all right. So I have a large population here. I kill all the men, or all the men that I can.
And switch out the rest of them. Yeah.
Ship them all around, confuse them,
Hmm.
murder them, tyrannical, like terrorize them.
Hmm.
Take their women, kill the older ones,
Hmm.
and take the younger ones as wives,
Hmm.
or breed with them, rather. Unfortunate to say it that way, but
But yeah.
and then now after what? How long you think it'll take? 2, 3 generations, and now you have a brand new manufactured history, and nobody knows what's the truth.
Well, that, but one thing we tend to do when talking about this situation is refer to the European like there's some all powerful gangster ass god that came through and fucked shit up.
No, that shit has been they just doing shit that's been done before.
But, well, not even that. It's
That's why I like revenue too.
we're first of all, we're still here. You know what I'm saying? First of all, without even like on some Morpheus shit, we're still here. And we're passively lapping in this race, right? Passively, because we're fucked up out here. So there's that. So yeah, he be on that shit, but he's really not scary. There's no boogeyman that doesn't exist. It does, but it doesn't. But like, so we talk about they came through and everybody got diseases and they slaughtered people, massacred people. Yes, that did happen. But this is a large landmass, and these massacres, 30 people at a time, 20 people at a time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're
It wasn't like they, all right, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's more compartmentalized, like so, like it's not decompartmentalized. Like they came over here and in one fell swoop, they came and murdered 100 million people. That's not how it happened. What happened was there was thousands and thousands of skirmishes. This was already war going on over here already. There was warring factors, warring states. There was warring, just like any other feudal type. You know what I mean? Like it was everything,
yep.
as it always is everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And did Europeans contribute? Yes, absolutely. But to say that I mean, yeah, they murdered probably about, I would say 20 million is more realistic.
I wouldn't even. I don't even know if I would go that high. It's kind of impossible to gauge because we don't know the actual population. But
Yeah,
I,
a lot of people.
yeah, but you get, people come through, the disease hits after like, 6 months in the general vicinity of that area, the immunity kicks in and the stronger people live, right? If they ain't get ran down on and their village burnt down, then they either had good or bad relations. Some of them had good relations, intermarried, became the same people, lumpy people, melunging people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's people like that everywhere. You think Elvis ain't got no nigga in him? Look at him.
Yeah.
That ain't all Italian. And Italians, guess what? You know who you are.
Yeah.
So, like, but they tell it like Christopher Columbus came through dick swinging with a machine gun and just shut everybody down. And then they just kept going and kept going like some war machine. That ain't true.
Yeah.
Is really not. And the worst part is, if it wasn't for the black devil,
There wouldn't be no
no,
devil at all.
nah.
I was saying like that.
Nah, not at all.
Bloody experiment.
Yeah,
Nah, but I'll leave it at that. But
it's
seriously though,
it's really a thought experiment more than anything.
well, the thing is, see, we know that there's all right. So there's groups on this planet that have been here for we don't know how long, like maybe 300, 400,000 years, and then there's groups that's been here maybe the last 10, maybe around give or take 10 or 15, and we know which groups those are. You know what I'm saying? So what happened? Well, something happened. We know something had to have happened,
Potentially,
and
there's a lot of stories
you know,
about scientists.
I mean, I think there's also a significant chance that we're on the tail end of our ice age too. There could have been multiple different factors. This could have been a part of the
The
overall.
evolutionary scale thing. Yeah,
It could have. I mean, if you have, so like, if you're, let's just say you have a higher level of intelligence, right? Right now, you might even at the highest level on Earth, you may come up with a 50-year plan, right? Imagine somebody that has enough intelligence and wisdom and knowledge and understanding, one, two, and three put together, to have a million-year plan, or you know a billion-year plan.
hmm
You know, like, and it's all coming to fruition.
hmm
That every rung is getting checked, but you just can't. Our lives are like a blip,
right. We don't
so
have
we
the
can't.
foresight and the
We don't live
We don't
long enough to
see it.
even perceive it.
Yep.
We don't live long enough to see the gamut. You know what I'm saying? And they keep it that way because these archons, they actually, like, not even just incarnate at will, but like, look at any rich family, right? When I say incarnate at will, these people are reincarnating themselves through their children in real time, right in your face.
But wait, to take the spookism out for the naysayers, right? We all do it. It's called
Yeah.
it's called reproduction. Just okay. Continue.
And
So
that's, and yeah, and it's just it's a fact of nature, right? So you have Trump one, Trump two, Trump three, you got Biden one, two, three, you got all of it. Like, what I mean, it goes like that for every powerful family, but every powerful family follows that same dynamic.
it's just the powerful ones know the science of it.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. So like some of these families, the overall point I'm making is that some of these families, like Jesus's family, like they got 1,000-year plan. Like like Abraham to Enoch to down to Noah. Am I getting this lineage correct? It should be he's the great grandfather
Yeah.
of Noah, right?
Or the grandfather. One of the
He
two.
should be the great, no, he's Enoch is the great
Okay.
grandfather of Noah. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Matter of fact, Google's right here. This is what the internet's for. But anyways, what I'm getting at is
But
um what I'm getting at is that family, if we are to believe this story, Noah's great great grandfather. He's his great grandfather, Enoch. Enoch is Noah's great grandfather, and then Abraham, who was, I believe, he was Enoch's like grandfather, something like that. Anyway, this family had 1,000-year plan that they were trying to expand into a 10,000-year plan to to expand the consciousness of human beings to, you know, to levels of gods, basically. That was Enoch's whole purpose.
according to a story and a perspective.
Right, but it was a story that was plagiarized earlier through. This story's been retold and told and told, but I'm just using that as an example.
Right, I understand. I
Yeah.
just want to give the disclaimer.
Yeah, using that as an example. But like, that's what I mean. Like in real life, not just that's just a story. But what I'm getting at is that in real life, there are families with 1,000-year plans, like the Trump family.
Shoot, like the Britain monarchs.
Yeah, they got 1,000 year. The Windsors.
Yeah,
Yeah, they got 1,000-year plan.
they're not really British.
No.
Windsor, what kind of name is that? That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, ain't they Germanic?
Uh-huh.
But I digress. But I'm just saying that, and all of them are related too. But
Yeah.
anyways, that's weird. I don't think that's on purpose though, because humanity, while they say it's 8 billion people, if you look at the degrees of separation, and like if you look at a number arrays, then you at 15, 16 generations, you get to about 6, 7 billion. I mean,
well,
because you gotta, you know what I'm saying? It folds out
that's
like
the
a leaf.
that's what I've been thinking about lately because I've been doing this genealogy thing, right? And every generation it doubles. So 8 billion, 16, 32, boom, da boom, da boom, da boom, da boom, 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 right? I'm about to start. Anyways,
Yeah.
the these I understand the political reasons of why uh monarchical societies, whatever, societies that have monarchy operate by incest because they want to consolidate political power. I get that. However, the birth defects and shit, like these motherfuckers, like look at these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like, bro, hemophilia comes from that. And that's just like the most base level example. They ain't got no platelets, bro.
It's a genetic error.
From incest. They ain't got no platelets.
It's a belief.
Bro, how these people think they superior and they ain't got no platelets?
But see, that's the thing. The thing about it is, that's what's been taught to them. That's why that's the problem with science. Because like the science would tell you, right? I can show you science right now that'll say we'll never go faster than light.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I can do too? I can pull out same science
Mm-hmm.
and show you a fucking warp drive.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, not even just traveling faster than light, but we're bending space time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all mathematically possible.
Mm-hmm.
Which means, are they doing it? Begs the question.
They've known it for a long time.
Right. We've known it, man. They got that symbol, our label symbol that's in the background behind the lotus flower. That symbol is imprinted at the Temple of Seti and at the Temple of Abydos,
bro,
in Egypt.
It's everywhere.
That shit's like 4,005. What? Or it's actually much older, according to Robert Schoch and people like that.
According to the archaeology that science has told us that we have, it's at least 12 to 13,000 years old.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Randall Carlson too, and what's his name, Graham Hancock, for blowing the whistle on that. Have you seen the documentary? Are you on Netflix? Ancient Apocalypse. Yeah, man. That Hiawatha event. You know, they found that. We just found it recently, actually. The crater under Greenland.
Yep.
And that's just 19 miles wide.
Yeah, like again, the mythology says it. That's why.
But what if it wasn't a meteor, though? What if they turned on CERN and?
I think it would have been a weapon more than anything.
That's what CERN. I think that's what CERN really is.
Nah, I mean, I feel like CERN is a black hole machine or a wormhole machine.
Yeah, you can weaponize. They're trying to weaponize that. Well, I could just boop and you're out of existence.
They're trying to weaponize everything. They're pussy. No disrespect to pussy, they're cowards. I'm good, bro. But yeah, they're cowards. Try to weaponize everything.
This is a plant friendly podcast. Yeah. Shout out to all my plants.
Yeah, team vegetarian.
We are plants.
Yeah.
We absorb sunlight.
We're all of it. That's another key they don't tell us.
Yeah, like I was reading that humans are more like a fungal mass. Like actually all forms, like all the different fauna. Was it not flora, but fauna? Yeah. All the different fauna are really just different forms of mud. I'm like, and then when you think about it, it's like, yo, this world is like The Simpsons. Like
it makes sense though. We all breathe the same. We all breathe oxygen, nitrogen. We also eat dead or dying and composting material. All of
the same shit that fungus eat.
Exactly. We just eat it fresh.
We got the same diet.
Yeah, we just eat it fresh.
We got the exact same diet.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And we cook. Yeah, that I could see that.
They cook too, though. They cook their food too.
We're
Monkeys are smart, man.
very
That shit's
probably
like
the most
intelligent.
intelligent
It's
life form on this
that's how we
planet.
got the internet. I mean, the internet is just how fungus communicates. They gave it to us. They gave it to us as a gift in the Big Island of Hawaii with Terrence McKenna and Steve Jobs and all the rest of them weirdos. I call them weirdos because I love the shit that they be kicking, but a lot of the shit that some of the shit that they kick, I don't like the racial, some of the racial shit.
Yep.
But other than that, I cut the fat and keep the meat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I they come from that time. If they're still alive and still on that bullshit, then fuck them. If they're not, it is what it is. I ain't gonna curse a dead person unless they were a real piece of shit.
well, my only problem with Terrence McKenna is I feel like he felt like it was hard to work with black people, and I was just like in my head, I'm thinking, all right, this is the 2000s. This is the like late 90s. This isn't the
Like,
70s. Like, it's 20 years ago. I mean, I get it. I get he came from that era. I get it. Like, I'm
but
not.
I wasn't gonna just say that though. Like, all right, and I'm not trying to cop out for fucking Terrence McKenna. Fuck him. Thank you. Fuck you.
Yeah, I love him, but fuck him.
Right. It's inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. Like again, our people have been practicing this culture that got suppressed from us for thousands of years. We've
Yeah.
been indulging in magic plants and entheogens. Like it's what we do. So cool. Thanks for giving me my science back. But I get why he wouldn't be able to because we got a totally different vibe. Like in general, some of us vibe well together as individuals, of course. But for him from his time, if he ain't never been around one of us, he start dealing with us, he 40. Nigga, what?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
get it.
This Leonard Skinner, mushroom eating Pink Floyd listen motherfucker
I don't
comes
even
to
know if he
me.
even listen to music. This motherfucker just be vibrating with the universe. This motherfucker really been on like some of the most powerful doses, probably higher doses than anyone alive today. I would say was willing to be even the most experienced uh, psychonauts will look at that dose and say, "Oh yeah, you're crazy. I'm not. I'm going home. Like, what's wrong with you? I'm not gonna take 20 grams of."
You ever you ever look into the late great Renoka Rashidi?
uh,
He's a melanated man and he teaches and preaches, God bless, but yeah, he passed, right? About the shrooms and same sorts of doses. And
yeah,
again, I
because at each different dose, you get a different effect.
right.
You
But
can,
not even just that. I was gonna say that, like I said, the show the other day, we saw that black God shit, right? And I was like, white people, it's okay to worship a white God.
yeah,
Like, yes, worship a God that looks like you.
yeah.
It's
You
cool.
should do that.
Yeah,
You should love yourself.
I advise that
We
every
love
day.
ourselves, and you
Yeah,
should love yourself.
absolutely.
Like, why wouldn't you love yourself, yo?
Right. Just don't oppress people.
Yeah, just don't like why we gotta be this and that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or if you're gonna call me out of something, at least I ain't gonna say make it give it a reason, like let it be a reason behind it. But have some decorum. We're all in this fight together,
Yeah. Unless we aren't, then we're against each other. But
right? But we can talk about that too.
yeah,
It's all kinds of ways to solve problems in this world now.
yeah.
It's all kinds of ways.
Bro, we got the technology at this point. We really shouldn't have problems at all. We should really be making dope science and art.
Yeah,
That's what we should really be
art
doing.
art is really gonna set this world on fire. Art is gonna allow, and when I say set this world on fire, art is gonna be the reason, not science, not biology, not chemistry, not math. Art, the arts are gonna be the reason that we enter into an age that we can't even imagine. We won't be able to even picture it right now because it hasn't been imagined yet. Like the arts are how you get Star Trek, not the overt Trumpian, Malthusian, Biden, all that, like the political, like when I say when I say Trumpian, what I mean is like the I'm talking about like he talks all day about not being an establishment, and it's like Biden is the establishment, but really both of it is the establishment. All of it is the establishment. This is the war. It's war. It's a war. It's a three-letter word. If you flip it around, you get raw. Like Monday Night Raw, niggas throwing chairs and shit.
Because Raw is war.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
And ODB likes it raw.
Recipe to the God.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Asan.
I love it, man. Everything coming in perspective. We live in this time. We get to usher it in. So I was listening to I forgot who I was listening to the other day, but they was like it was somebody that was in their 60s on some pod. I think it was, anyways. He was just like, yeah. He said something about those goddamn on entitled millennials, and then he said under his breath, "But damn it, they're gonna save us all."
I don't want to be what they call ageist, but man, y'all need to sit down.
Yeah.
Get out the way, yo. We got this. Yeah. It's okay. Thank you.
We got a whole bunch of plans and ideas and ways to move this shit forward. Yeah. It's time to turn it over. Yeah. I'm gonna take it. Bro. I mean, y'all ain't got no choice. If I get the 4.0, y'all got no choice. So
all I'm gonna say is thank you. Go sit down. Yeah. Because you fucked it up. You did great. And now you're fucking up.
Fucking everything up. We fixed those on for you. Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, like
thank you for bearing us. And now we fixed your planet. Now, if you want us to continue to fix the planet, you have to let us take control completely. Because we already told y'all what to do to fix it. We did that, listening. And it fixed it. So,
bro, there's no reason anybody should have to pay a bill.
Yeah,
like let's keep it a buck, like a big buck. Like
bills are weird,
bro. I can understand paying for service, but we should live in a world where solar infrastructure is everywhere. Like seriously.
Yeah.
Everywhere. It's just, like, come the fuck on. I don't even know how else to say it. Like, it's disgusting that a small group of people keeps people in keeps the world in arrested development because they're pussy.
Right.
And it's okay, like people, especially, I don't want to keep making this a melanated versus non-melanated thing, but people in general tend to be very forgiving and gracious, as long as you just get the fuck out of the way. You know,
especially our people.
Yeah,
they give 1,000 chances.
Yeah,
but it's in our DNA, like, because we already. It's like this planet, just like I was saying. Oh, that's what we was talking about.
Earth is abundant, bro.
I remember now. We was talking about the damn Earth emanates water.
Yeah,
it produces it
and oil.
And oil is emanating. It's emanating. It's not that water is on the planet. That's not what it is. You gotta understand this. I need everybody around the world to listen. If you're listening or watching this, the Earth emanates water just like a star emanates light, like or plasma. Plasmoids. Like the Earth produces water, fresh water, produces it just like it produces oil, just like your body produces plasma and produces blood. The Earth is emanating the water. And everything around us that we're in is also a fluid as well.
It's like the cerebral spinal fluid of the Earth.
Yeah.
Oils, the blood.
The oxygen is even like this, like the plasma, like what we're in right here. This layer, like if you I'm wafting my hand because
you can feel the resistance.
Yeah, you can feel it. It's like a fluid. It feels like water almost. It feels weird. It'll make you feel icky if you think about it too much. Because it's like, what am I in? Like
we're in a suit.
Like it's still weird. Like, it's like it's just crazy.
And yeah, miseducation, misdirected, lied to.
This is why this planet is so coveted, bro.
Oh, how abundant it is in life.
Not just that, it emanates water.
life.
We've looked throughout the cosmos and can't find nothing else like that.
So they say.
So they say. Pluto emanates water, but it's a frozen rock. And Neptune.
Mars has water.
Neptune.
So they say.
Well, those places, water is there. Water does actually emanate from Mars because it's 2% of the soil. Actually, yeah, they did blow the whistle on that, like what 2013.
Like that. And the only reason I say so they say is because NASA lies so much.
Yeah.
So I take all of it with a grain of salt until I see the alien pop out and start talking that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen in our lifetime. It might, but I don't know.
It's gonna be in the back of my mind to the day I die. Maybe today's the day.
Yeah, because I mean it's gonna be a big announcement like we just got D'Angelo Russell. I'm glad that boy is off my team, man.
Lakers front office is trash.
I'm just glad that boy is off my team, man.
Lakers front office is trash.
They are. I agree.
Trash.
Because we should never got rid of him.
Right.
But now him and LeBron and if Anthony Davis get his shit together, they got one more person that can shoot. And they got Malik Beasley and Vanderbilt now too.
Man, you know what they should have done? They shot for Joel Embiid.
Nah, that was never gonna work.
Shot it, blew the bank on him.
That never gonna. And B don't want to go to the Lakers.
I know, but they can always lure somebody.
Yeah, but the allure of being with the Lakers is no more. Some people are just really. I think that you know what, Jeannie Buss has an amount of star power that I didn't previously understand, but now I understand it.
You go to LA to get the bread though.
Yeah, but Jeannie Buss in particular has star power though. She knows what she's doing, I guess. But I don't know. I think they should sell the team personally.
I'm not a fan, so I'm indifferent. I do think
I feel you.
They need to hire better front office people. And this has been a problem for a while. It's not just because of LeBron.
Yeah, they do need to hire better front office.
Like but I'm a Redskins fan, so yeah. Dan Snyder's the worst sports owner ever. Ever. And not saying that because he did such heinous things that all of them do. All of them.
I'm just sharing the link with some more people.
Allegedly, potentially. But yeah, Dan Snyder's fucking terrible. In my opinion, my personal opinion, as a sports owner, I don't know him personally. Was the owner of the Washington Redskins. It doesn't make sense that you don't draft offensive linemen, dude. That's all I'm saying.
How do I get to it? Sorry, folks. Hold on. We are still live in action.
It's but on some more serious. Well, all right. We get on my Indian soapbox. If you don't realize, Chief Wahoo was a racist caricature. Yes. Chief Blackhawk, in my opinion, is not a racist caricature because that was based on descriptions of the man. Our beloved logo from the Redskins was a real person. And to erase that from public view is another bit of paper genocide and cultural erasure, to use these liberal terms, right? Because I'm not a liberal or a conservative.
Right.
But
I'm not a liberal, conservative, or independent. I exist outside of this universe and this realm. And nothing here matters to me because everything here is a simulation and an illusion. And all of it, I'm starting to realize that's why I'm going into public administration, because that shit does not matter to me.
What does?
The political shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm going into administration. Administration is apolitical.
Bro,
I was just sharing the link though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, politics is fucking entertainment.
Yeah,
That's all
the first link I
is.
had was wrong. That's all good. I got it.
Yeah, politics entertainment. It's total fucking bullshit. It's to keep people distracted while these corporations steal your fucking money and your rights.
You really think that shit rigged though?
Yeah.
Like the not politics, but
Super Bowl?
fucking everything like football, basketball,
I think
baseball, whatever.
I think that it's as rigged as it can be.
Word.
Do I think it's an out and out act? No. But do I think that certain people know to do certain things at certain points in the game to affect the outcome? Yeah, I do. And I think the refs are really in on it. This is my personal opinion.
Yeah, the refs are betting on it.
Yeah, there's books about that written by former refs.
They got caught many times.
They cheated the answer.
Yeah.
They cheated the answer.
A lot of motherfuckers, man, like got cheated. And
David Stern could not let Allen Iverson win Finals MVP with them cornrows, baggy pants. I'm telling you, bro, he couldn't let it happen.
Yeah, man. Real talk.
Everybody loved Iverson. But
this stuff that's going on right now with the NBA, though, David Stern wouldn't have been having it.
Oh, with who?
With all of it.
You talking about the Kyrie stuff?
No, I don't think he would have ever had no kind of mandates for the players or none of that to like force them to get the vaccine and all that. He was like real anti.
Don't say that word. Don't say that word on YouTube. That V word.
Yeah.
That's a bad word.
No, I mean, but that's what they did. But anyways, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a historic fact. I ain't trying to talk about it.
They didn't. I mean, technically, they didn't force them. All those men who were unionized could have stood the fuck up and said no. They really could have.
Well, we got jabbed up now, so let's see what happens in 20 years. I want my superpowers.
God, bro.
Hope I get tentacles or something.
I got clean blood.
No, I ain't gonna lie though. I'm not gonna show what this is, but
I don't. I'm not a mud blood.
You see this right here?
Yeah, I'm already hip.
This is right. This is good. This cleans you out. I'm not gonna show what it is, but it's good for you.
Allegedly.
It's green.
It's It's
superfood.
That was one of those moments though, like when we could have just stood the fuck up. 2020, all right. The way the jank happened, like nobody likes Trump. Trump is president. The thing happens. This justifies him wanting to close the borders before. Because the thing happened. Because of the borders, right?
But they closed the borders.
Allegedly.
And then reopened them.
Right.
Open them right up. Come on in.
Mm-hmm. Right. So people start getting out in the streets and protesting and doing this and that about George Floyd, may God bless and rest the dead. But also people got divided about the fear campaign. They had a death ticker on CNN, son. They had a death ticker. What type of dystopian shit is that?
Yeah, I was wondering. I always wanted to know about that because I was like, yo, let's show. What if we was to do that with everything, right? Like with heart disease and like with like car accidents. Like, what if it was to show that shit like every day? It'd be like people would be so scared to drive, like nobody be eating cheeseburgers, like it'd be chaos.
Here's the sickest part. Here's the sickest part. The number was updating in real time, right? How the fuck did they prove that?
But you know, back in the day in New York, they had a death clock. You can go look at it, the birth clock and the death clock.
Yeah, it's the same, bro.
Same shit.
But that's the point I'm making.
But they just added the cupcake.
That's the point I'm making. Like, bro, you really got you got people tuned into your channel, feeding them a fear campaign with a death ticker.
I got the jab. I got both jabs. I should be able to say that on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, at the end of the day, I'll tell you like this. I personally,
It's the bad stuff about the hokey pokey Jabbington.
yeah, the
That
jabby wabby.
yeah.
Yeah, the bad man came to town and the bad man wants his bag, but the bad man's not gonna give up the bag because the bad man said, well, no, 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 no. I don't owe you anything. I didn't take nothing. You gave it to me. This is what's happening, right? So you gave up the ghost. So I gave up the ghost. So if the repercussions come, they come as they may, or may they not. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who the fuck knows?
You know the illest thing is they they say here's just the arbitrary number they like to throw out, whatever, that up to 65% of people got bad batch. That was just it it didn't stay cool enough. So all the proteins died and they just got saline.
And look, this is what I'm saying.
Like
I'm not.
wait. Just hold on, let that think
I
about that for a minute.
I agree. That's crazy. They basically got a placebo. Yeah,
What? So they really ran an experiment because they had a control group.
yeah, yeah. But that
Mhm.
we knew they tell you it's an experiment when you go in there and get it. But I
That like what? Really?
well on the paper it says that if you read it, I read it. But
Mm.
I got the Pfizer, I believe, yeah, Pfizer. But anyways, what I wanted to get to was my whole thing is not the cupcake. I like science, right? Anything that will help. This is another thing we was talking about. Anything that'll help us eliminate, you know,
Are you talking
uh
about the cancer cream?
yeah. Well, really what I was saying was anything that'll help us to eliminate cancer completely, like from the genome.
Mhm.
If we get there, or if we do get to that point,
Yeah. That all right.
we'll eliminate disease too.
So how can I say? We're there. We've been there, right? Like this is a court. This is documented court case. So I can talk about this one. Maybe.
I like Dr. Sabi's the things that he
Save
talked about.
like
He talks about stuff that people talk about now.
because that's his juice, and I know he's glad to know that people have picked this up and are running with it. But he won a court case against New York Supreme Court. God bless the dead and Nipsey Hussle. Thank you. Um, because Nip was producing a documentary on this court case,
Yeah.
and he won a court case. He got sued about claiming that he cured HIV and cancer and syphilis and herpes and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. So to make a very long story short, they beat the case with like I think it was over 150 witnesses that they helped at their clinic. Um, so yeah,
In his twilight, he had bad people around him that did very bad things.
bro, that's what that's what the ops do
Yeah.
every single time. And this again isn't conjecture. Uh, Judas and the Black Messiah is a great movie. It's fairly historically accurate. It's a very sad one, but like man, yeah.
Oh no,
Red
you're not
Hammer's
talking
too
about
hard, bro.
accuracy. Talking about accurate movies, we can talk about hero, Negroes, hero. Anyways, uh, you know, we can Hebrews, Negroes, and all that, but we can talk about that. I don't want to. This is the thing. I don't talk about things. I don't want people to think I'm just talking about shit for shock factor. I talk about things I actually believe to be true, right? So in my mind,
Hmm.
the original man of not just America but the planet Earth, all over the place. If you look at it, is a Aboriginal.
Yeah,
The Aborigines pretty much have a similar story all over the planet.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And personally, I think that we're all living in their history. This is their story that's playing out now, not the Europeans, not the Asians, not what we call the so-called Negro or African American,
Every race,
because all that stuff is just made up. I mean, they made African American up, man. Like that's a made up term. Like all that shit. Black is a made up term.
like 1988, Jesse Jackson told niggas to call themselves African American.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like they just make shit up, like out of nowhere. They just come up with shit. Like what is this?
And the ironic part is, simultaneously, the United States opened its borders to people in the Caribbean, to British colonized islands in the Caribbean, and also to continental Africa again.
So who did that?
Reagan's administration,
Okay.
or Bush one of the two. Well, Bush won. It was his administration. Reagan was senile, like Joe Biden. Let's keep it a buck.
Keep it a buck thousand.
Like, yeah,
Keep it a buck.
bro got a magic carpet. Like, that's hard. That diamond supply,
I think so.
that's hard. And it's neon. Good shit.
Motherfuckers flying around, motherfucker. But yeah, man, everything is emanating like the body emanates blood. But it just emanates. Your body is constantly washing itself and killing itself and reborn, rejuvenating itself.
Yeah.
Constantly. And it's based on what you put in your body. So what you put in your body, like if you put soda in your body, then the outcome from that is going to be, okay, so if I took Pepsi or any of these brands, I'm not even gonna say a brand name. If I took any soda and pour it on some rust, it's gonna take the rust off of the metal almost instantaneously. What do you think that's doing in your stomach? I think flesh is a lot less tough than that metal. So the rust on that metal. So yeah. I say that to say
drink water.
Drink water. Yeah, that stuff is not good. All this stuff, like
eat fruits and vegetables.
This is how easy it is, man. This stuff right here. Well, all right, we live in inflation, right? But guess what? You're an American. We're Americans. We're Americans. So guess what? I got a little bit of money. I don't have a lot.
Water falls from the sky. Fuck that.
And the earth actually emanates water.
Yeah.
It produces it
if
naturally.
You live in the country, dig a well.
Yeah.
Straight up.
It produces it. It produces it just like the body produces blood, just like stars produce light.
If you live in the city, you probably shouldn't dig a well.
No, don't do that, please.
Yeah, you don't want to charge and a fine. Don't do that. But
I actually just learned about that. You need a permit to do shit like that in Greensboro.
Yeah.
In the class I'm taking right now.
Yeah, don't do that shit. What you should do is collect rainwater. And if somebody has something to say to you about that, then take them to court and keep taking them. I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice.
Yeah, we got all kinds of techniques now, man. Everything should be abundant. I think I see abundance.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I see abundance in the future.
That's all it is, bro. That's all it is. That's all it is. Think about how many ways one can make money from a cell phone, a simple device in your pocket.
Yeah, that Nikola Tesla theorized 200 years ago or 100 years ago.
He said he channeled it.
Yeah.
From the ancient Egyptians.
All the information, really, not just that, not just the smartphone shit, but
all of it.
He took like what 19 voyages to Egypt.
Yeah.
And studied the pyramids. He drew schematics and shit. He went crazy.
Did a lot of deep meditations, channeling, whole lot of occult shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was tapped in. But ironically enough, he was a eugenicist.
Yeah. That's sad.
It is interesting. Sad. I don't know if I say sad for him or not, because he was a eugenicist because he didn't.
So you're saying that Nikola Tesla was a eugenicist?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta look into that.
Yeah. He was friends with Margaret Sanger.
But Margaret Sanger, see the
Was
history of that,
eugenicist.
but that's not really true. I mean that the history of that is befuddled because they did the same thing they do to Joe Rogan and Donald Trump. Like they took one excerpt, they took an excerpt of what she said and twisted her words, and that's not really what she said. I ran and did a lot of research on this because I wanted to know the truth. Like I read up on this for hours, and like what really. So first of all, Margaret Sanger had no intention of genociding black people or anything like that. In fact, when she created what she did, it was only for whites only. It was whites only. And then the need for an abortion is a health crisis.
Wait, stop.
It's a health crisis.
Wait. It sounds like you're caping for this bitch.
I'm not caping for it. I can pull out the quote. I can pull out the quote.
Wait.
It's misquoted, is what I'm saying. So that's why I'm disagreeing with what you're saying.
What I'm asking is whether or not her intent to stop people with mental deficiencies from breeding.
Right. That's what I'm saying is that's not accurate. Based on my research.
Based on my research, it is.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not caping for. What I'm saying is I went in depth. I dove deep into this because I wanted to know. Because I've heard both sides. I've heard people say that, oh, she was a eugenicist, this and that. And I've also heard the other side where she was actually benevolent as hell and she was trying to help. And she was afraid that people would twist her words and try to make her look like a eugenicist when that was not her intention. And that's actually literally the truth. She said that. That's what she said. And that's where people pull that quote from. She was saying that her biggest fear is that people twist her words and they get this out of what I'm trying to do. That's not what it is at all. That's all she was saying. And that one quote got twisted and they made her into a eugenicist. That's all I'm saying. Is abortion negatively affecting black people the way they do it now? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think this was ever her intention. That's just personally my belief. You know what I'm saying?
But what I've seen about this lady, I don't have anything positive to say about her at all.
I mean, if you see abortion as in and of itself as a detriment, then I can see that. I understand that.
I've seen images of her at Klan rallies giving speeches.
I haven't seen that. I got to do more research then because I haven't seen anything like that.
And I've heard clips of her talking about exterminating human weeds.
See, I got to hear that too. I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Everything that I've looked, when I went and did research on this, everything spurred from one quote. Everything spurred from a quote that she made.
What did she say?
And she said that she was saying that she fears that people are going to twist what she's doing into, oh, I'm trying to genocide black people. And that's not what I'm trying to do. That's literally what she said, basically. And but the way that she said it, I gotta look it up exactly what it is. I'm not gonna. I've been on my phone for a second. I was just doing so. I had to handle some business, but some important shit. But anyways, I say that to say, all I'm saying is that I think abortion is wrong. First of all, it should be a health crisis thing, in my opinion. I'm gonna give my opinion on it because I'm able to have my opinion. My opinion on abortion is this: it should be under health crisis circumstances, and I feel like it's a great detriment to my people. I feel like in my opinion, if they didn't abort, if it wasn't allowed like that, I don't think that there would be people making so many babies and then getting rid of them. And I think that our society as black people could proliferate more. That's my opinion. And I think that everybody would agree that abortion is a terrible thing. It leads most women. Don't a lot of women that get abortions commit suicide? I got to look up the statistic, but yeah, it's bad.
I'll say that I don't have a uterus, right?
Yeah.
So leave with that.
I can't control what women do. I'm not saying we should get rid of it. We should. Everyone should be able to.
I'm not even going to go into it. I'm saying that I don't have a uterus. However, I understand warfare and war tactics. And if I could convince a group of people that reproduces at a fast pace that I don't want to be around to stop reproducing and kill themselves, I would fucking do it. If I was in a war with them and I was evil.
Right. And you know what also happens a lot of times in history? Like, the people who are good get painted as evil, and the people who are evil get painted as good. And this happens all throughout history. This is happening right now with God and the devil. I can go all in that.
Bro, good and bad is a matter of perspective.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that people get painted. They get painted by the stories that we have, that we were told. These people long gone. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So all we have is the stories that are told. So we have to capitulate a picture of the past based on what was written down. Mm-hmm. So,
or hearsay.
Right, exactly. So I don't want to get too much into like you always tell me this. A lot of stuff is just conjecture, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, the bottom line is abortion is baseline. I think it's a little bit detrimental. Should people have access to it? Absolutely, because it's a health crisis. But
it's detrimental to the baby.
The people that are there,
it's detrimental to the mother also, because a lot of women are left infertile from
that's what I was
saying. Procedures.
That's what I was saying. It's detrimental to the woman and the baby in general. It's detrimental to the human. That's the human process of being human.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, if it's absolutely necessary, yes. And even then, it's a terrible experience and not something you want to experience.
There's birth control herbs out there. Like, if y'all really want to get skeeted in that bad, there's healthy shit you can use to prevent getting pregnant. Just saying. Do some research. You got the whole internet in your pocket.
Shout out to Junior, man. I love you, brother.
Like, yeah.
My son.
Yeah. I'm not saying my children's names on the internet, but I love y'all.
Oh yeah, that's why I said Junior. Yeah. Unfortunately, I go by my. Anyways, everything is, people out here in this world, they just looking for somebody to lead them, but we not. Our job here is to spread knowledge, right? So I think it's like the 1 and the 2 adds up, it makes 3. 1, 2, 3. It's the easiest 1, 2, 3. You gotta pay attention to these lyrics, just like what's the name said 369. Damn shorty fine. Wow. You gotta pay attention to these lyrics. 369 is a real important number, and we can go into that too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I ain't gonna go deep into it, but 369.
Golden ratio.
Damn shorty fine.
Yeah,
that shit repeats forever. So if you take 3, 6, and 9, what do you go? 12, that's 3, 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. And then 15, that's 1 and 5, that's 6. Mm-hmm. Then 18, it's all the way for infinity.
Yep.
It's gonna always add back up to those numbers. It's always gonna skip
everything else.
1, 2, 4.
Bro, everything else.
Yeah, basically 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8.
If the shit is, again, we get blocked, we get distracted from the poignant shit and the important shit for the fuckery. And I get it. It's fun. And it's distracting and entertaining. But like, back to the politics thing. Well, if we ain't focus so much on politics, or if we just, I'm not gonna say anything that's gonna sound like inciting or applauding of violent action. But in other countries and in past eras, public servants were held accountable when they mistreated the people that they were supposed to serve, from the lowest office to the highest office. The American Revolutionary War supposedly started over a 2% tax increase. 2%.
Yeah.
How much do you get taxed? IRS? I hope you get a box.
That's ironic, because that's what Trump went over there and told them they got to pay. He said, look, we paying our bills, no more. That's the one thing I like about Trump. Not to get back on the politics, but obviously, fuck it, we in America.
Yeah,
Damn it, we gotta watch it.
I don't.
We don't have to, but I choose
Bro,
to.
I be in my own
But
bubble of
but he said though this was a powerful statement though because this is fucking true. That's true. We're not paying y'all bills. What's wrong with y'all?
yeah.
And now NATO is literally. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen, but
NATO's at war with Russia. What you mean?
yeah, they at war. I'm about to say NATO is literally at war with Russia.
Said they, we,
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, we got to be at war because my tax dollars pay for those fucking whatever they send over there.
our
The money the money they send. No, they're not at war. They buying houses. They buy houses with that money. That you know what they doing? They eating MREs and shit. They ain't eating for real off that money. Them soldiers.
No, I'm not talking about the soldiers.
Oh yeah.
That's part of the trick, right? Motherfuckers always get mad talking about warfare about the soldiers. No, no, no. The soldiers are regular people. They want to do the same shit we want to do. They want to do something nasty with the person they love if they're not related to them, and their spouse or whatever. They want to hang out with their family, and you know what I'm saying. They want to eat good food,
right?
Like they want to have a nice, comfortable, safe place to live, good, clean drinking water. Like it's really not that complicated. People are getting tossed into wars because they live in fucking poverty or they live in a country that is run by a totalitarian that's gonna throw them in there or kill them. Let's keep it a buck, like
I agree.
for real. And it's fucked up. And it's a game that they playing against all of us, and it's really not necessary. And all it takes is for people to just say, you know what, fuck this.
Politics.
I'm not participating.
You know what you sound like?
Who?
When you say that? Sound like Billy, man.
That's why I like him.
Shout out to the God.
I agree with him on quite a few things. That being the biggest one.
About 95%. Shout out to Billy Carson, man. Hey, I'm not trying to kowtow, but this is one thing I will say is that what you just said, I listen to Billy a lot, and that's one thing that he harps on. You know, if we all just stop participating,
it's over.
It stops. The game ends.
Bro. The contract is over. Bro, I seen Ryan Hayes pull up so many documents and receipts about the contract being over. And that's why a lot of these that's why the whole defund the police campaign. Because the contract is actually over. The only reason it's still going is because everybody's still participating.
Right.
We had the perfect opportunity during the Yobid 91 downlock. Is that mixed up enough? Or can I say that on YouTube?
I was just, I mean, nah.
The shelter in place order.
I would say, where they,
But we had
they told us put our hands up and put your heads under your desk and
right.
Yeah.
But we had the perfect opportunity to just everybody just say, you know what? Fuck you. And to make it even better, they gave us the perfect authority figure to rebel against.
I didn't wear that mask, bro. I wore it when they asked. Like if somebody asked, I'll put the mask on. But personally, I don't like how it feels on my face, and I just found out. Well, I'm not gonna say that on camera, but anyways, yeah.
It's poisonous.
It's not even just that. No, I'm not against the masks. What I'm saying is that for me personally, I have a hypersensitivity issue that I didn't know about, that I recently found out about. I'll just say it like that. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I just recently found out that I have an issue with hypersensitivity. So that mask being on like these glasses being on my face, this mask and the glasses would be crazy. Like
I can see that.
It's like I wouldn't be able to. I can't focus. Like I can't think. But anyways, I don't mean to go on a. I feel like I sound like a child.
I did it to respect people's businesses so they wouldn't get shut down by the Gestapo style government. That's why I did it. And for to scare people out of respect for them. But that's really it. Like, as far as the rules, quote unquote, fuck the rules.
Yeah.
I'm a outside the lines colorer. I walk on the grass, but I treat people in places with respect that's due to them, right? But we had the perfect but it's an interesting thing, right? We had the perfect opportunity to rebel. I feel like the turning point when, all of the riots was happening and cities were on fire. I was in DC at the time doing Uber and I saw that shit that was fucking bananas. And the people were just like, yo, we really just want to chill. And the illest shit is when they told those guards people to shoot those protesters in DC, I am so proud of y'all for not shooting those people. Thank you. For real. 'Cause this whole shit could have went bad. It could have been Red Dawn out this bitch right now. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
with Chinese spy balloons and whatnot. This motherfuckers
Yeah, but TikTok is the biggest Chinese spy balloon. I mean, if you're talking about a spy balloon, it's an app on your phone.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's why it's not on none of my devices. I will never. And people can say, "Oh, you starting to sound like wow, wow, wow." And I'm like, "Hey, look,
when you're right, you're right.
it is what it is." Like you can say it sound like what? I don't give a fuck what you're talking about.
When you're right, you're right.
Yeah, that shit should have been got banned too. Let's take it there. Like we should ban TikTok just like Facebook is banned in China. Duh. Like it's like what?
It's warfare.
What? Like ain't no way. Like no.
It's warfare.
There's no way. Like that's
I ain't trying to be in China.
It's not even altruism at that point. What is the, what I'm saying? What is the end game there? That's not altruism. Just allowing them to do, and then their version of TikTok is totally different than ours.
Yep.
The algorithm shows us just constantly shows us bullshit, while theirs shows them fucking educational videos about math and the sciences and history and Chinese history and
yep.
all this and that. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck? Like this is
as they should.
This is something I can say on YouTube, right? I don't know what I can and can't say.
But listen to me now. Yeah. In the arena of warfare, they should be doing this. The United States government does it all the damn time. That's why they don't allow Facebook.
Yeah, I agree. They should. That's why they said that. They said we don't allow Facebook because they might steal our citizens' data. And that's what. But we allow
stealing
TikTok.
Our citizens' data and propaganda.
You know why we allow TikTok? Because this country loves fucking money, and it will do anything. It will spread her legs wide to get that long.
Government will spread
to get that long monetary stroke.
Yeah,
she will spread her legs about the world.
The United States, U.S. capital is a nasty bitch.
A great whore.
Yeah. She used to be beautiful before she got corrupted.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, she still is beautiful. I feel like she's redeemable.
Yeah.
And I should probably, well, this is the first land out of the water, according to archaeologists. I think my Pan-African people will not like that statement, but I don't really care. Look it up. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
There's competing theories. That's what people don't understand. It's like once you start to study the real science and history, you learn that there's competing theories with everything. You know what I'm saying?
Like everything.
It's a competing theory about, the Big Bang. Like what the fuck, like what happened before the Big Bang. It's a competing theory on whether we all came from Africa or whether human primate groups evolved independently all over the different continents about the face of the earth, where we find their bones and the shit that they leave everywhere, their technologies and their ancient relics and everything. We find it everywhere. They might have independently evolved there, like,
or whether or not they even evolved or just created by someone or something,
or modified.
That's
what the book says. That's what the books say. The ancient stories.
A lot of them. Yeah. A lot of them just say flat out created.
Yeah.
Again, for perspectives, like it's an ill thing. I do my best to keep an open mind and not get attached to any of these theories outside of what I can either prove or disprove. If I don't have the power for that, I don't have a lot of energy to get into debate about it because it's like that ain't my baby. You know what I'm saying? If
Right.
it's my theory, that's different, and I can prove it, disprove it, or just my take on the situation that I was involved in personally. But like, bro, like people talk about flat Earth, round Earth, oblong, spheroid, dodecahedron. Prove it.
China has a myth from thousands of years ago
Said they went to the moon.
about the rabbit. Yeah, the rabbit
Oh,
on the
that
moon.
yeah.
The rabbit on the moon. No, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, you went right where I was. It's that mind link. Like, that's exactly what I was talking about.
Like, yeah. The Sumerians say the moon was put here.
I'm about to say, man, I was just reading the other day. Yo, check this out, bro. I don't know if you knew about this, but in the year 1000, in the year 1100,
common era or before the common era?
No, like 1,000 years ago.
Okay.
So like the year 1110, the moon disappeared for like 3-4 years. It was gone.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Swear to God.
I've never heard.
I swear to God. And they think it was because of volcanic activity, like blocked out the sun. So there was different periods, like where people over the over the earth couldn't see the moon. It was there, but
okay. So what I was about to ask you, not to cut you off, was whose myth is this, or whose story is this?
Well,
or is mad different people from different places
different places, yeah, different places around the world, yeah.
Oh,
yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and it was like a high period of volcanic and tectonic plate activity during that time period as well.
So the theory is the clouds blocked it out.
Right. And then that could be, but what I'm saying is that there's been several periods of history where people have written about and talked about times where the moon wasn't there.
Right.
At all. You couldn't see it.
All over the world.
For
it didn't exist.
However long.
Right.
And then it was back, and then it was gone, and it was back again, or whatever.
Or the time before the moon.
Or the time, right.
Right. A lot of people, like mad indigenous Americans, I think the Norse have a myth about that one. I want to say the Aborigines of Australia do too. It's bro. That's why I go to mythology, because when you find an archaeologist who also studies mythology, if they don't have an obligation to a secret organization, then they're really with the shits.
Right.
And they start doing research, and they be figuring out that a lot of this stuff is substantiated through the archaeological record. For real. A lot of it. And it'll be right where the myth says it is. At the base of this mountain. Well, what's this mountain? Well, etymology. Boom. This means that. That means this. It's right there. They go do a dig, search for a few weeks, and find it. They're still uncovering temples in the Yucatan. The illest shit is so.
One question that I'm sorry, I ain't gonna keep that. The Yucatan, that's Central America, Mexico, South America,
Guatemala, Nicaragua area.
Okay, so Central America.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, continue.
So there's a myth that I think the Aztecs had, and they said that the entire Amazon was covered with streets of gold, right? And a lot of people just like blah blah blah, it's mythology. So make a long story short, they get these satellites, which may or may not be weather balloons because NASA lies. I sound like a real conspiracy theorist right now. Joe Rogan, what's up, nigga? So they get they get these satellites and do satellite imaging, infrared, different spectrums, and they're able to actually look through the growth on the jungle floor, right?
Pyramids down there. Everything.
Temple complexes.
Cartouches with cartouches.
Big ass forms that look like the Nazca lines. This is all over under the Amazon. Right?
Find some technology too.
Bro, I want to go down there on a road trip, like all the way from up here to down there, all the way down to Argentina.
Man, look, Billy takes people all the time. He takes people to Egypt too.
Bro, I would love to go.
Yeah, it's just expensive, but hell yeah.
Anthony Davis, you got to catch that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Too tall to not catch that. Sorry. But
so
yeah, it's So they see this and they realize, oh shit. And I forget the archaeologist who put it in their book. I saw a documentary years ago about it and ended up reading the book. So, to make a long story short, mythology is a lot of times the key to history that's been suppressed or erased. Because Quadras is kept. These motherfucking Europeans say that the indigenous Americans didn't have writing systems. That's conjecture.
That's nonsense.
That's an
Yeah.
out and out lie.
But you know, that's another thing too, like the worship of the bull. We was talking about that a couple days ago.
Mhm.
Like the worship of the bull, like they was worshiping that bull because when you go in that bull, like this is the intimate thing about humanity, man.
Wait.
Like
You about to say the tourist thing or the shrooms thing?
the shrooms thing.
Ah.
I was about to say when you go into like, you know, we look for food, we're grub hunters. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get the grubs, you get the grubs out of the shit. So that's why they was worshiping bulls.
Yeah. Bullshit makes magic mushrooms, in case nobody knew that.
Yeah. That's what
Bullshit and lightning. So yeah.
Or just being electrically charged, period, like the storm air.
Right. If the barometric pressure is high enough, you got some
It grows
magic.
it.
Yeah. So yeah, that, and here's the ill thing about that. Astrologically, this started happening in the age of Taurus.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was what?
Um
30. No, that's something like that age of Leo.
nah, it was each
Was it 70,000 years ago, something like that?
something like that.
I have to look it
No,
up.
wait, we're going into Aquarius. So
Yeah.
it goes backwards. Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus. So beginning of the age of Taurus will be around 12 and a half, 13,000 years ago.
Oh, okay.
You know, after the thing happened that may or may not have caused a flood over a lot of civilizations and the sinking of Atlantis and whatnot. Because, you know, 1,000, 2,000 years ago, Plato said that 10,000 years ago.
Yeah, he said 9,000 years before the time of my father, there was a great cataclysm. There was a great civilization. There was a great civilization.
Who did he get it from?
He got it from Solomon.
He got it from Solon. Who did he get it from?
Solon got it from Egypt. He went to Egypt and got the knowledge from there, from the priesthood.
The priesthood of who? You remember?
Let's see. This is we're talking about 2005, because we got to add 100 years because this is like before. No, we got to add like 50 years because we're before Plato.
Tahuti. What was left of the temple of Tahuti? Probably Hermes by then, since it was being Hellenized. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, the Hermeticists were the historians and the scribes. Shit.
Okay, that makes sense. But he got that. That's where he got that. In. He said that. He said that in 9,000 years before the time of my father, there was a great civilization that where gods walked amongst men and gods were men and men were gods. And it all fell in a single day of cataclysm.
Yep. Located right outside Pillars of Hercules.
And that's 11,200 years ago, the exact same time.
You know what
that the Hiawatha event occurred.
You know what the people in the British Isles, some of them call it? Avalon.
What's really crazy though, man, is that like that's why I mentioned Randall Carlson earlier in the episode, and like Randall Carlson, they took these drones and went over the plains of the United States, right? It's these big ley lines where you could see the waves where the water crashed into the scene. It's like when you're walking down there, it just looks like dunes in the prairies. But if you take a drone up there, it's like
huge.
what happened here?
Tsunami. Hmm.
Like, whoa, like too much water, like a splash zone, but the size of the planet,
Or half the planet.
half the planet,
Yeah.
like a splash zone the size of fucking literally from here to fucking Singapore.
And that leads to my
But
hypothesis as to why North America,
or not here to Singapore, but like here to Japan, here to Japan.
yeah,
Singapore is in South America, South not South America, but Southern Hemisphere, right?
uh,
Or is it? I
yeah,
could be
closer
wrong.
to like New Zealand and like the Pacific Islands, the
That
Southern
shit got to be
Pacific
weird where
Islands.
those lines start to switch, man, because you can see the magnetic. Like they got the energy meridian points mapped out now too. So supposedly NASA does.
I mean, ancient knowledge, they been had that shit.
Yeah, they stole it.
That's the fuck shit. Like we could be so much farther as a global society if they just opened the books. Like again, people are very forgiving. A couple people gonna have to catch it, but
The betas tell you how to build a Vimana.
yeah,
They tell you the exact dimensions and everything, and
and,
they built it. Like
and
they've already built that. Lockheed Martin, these Raytheon, all these other companies, they built it. They've already built it.
Hitler did it. Well, Hitler didn't personally do it, but his administration did it.
Yeah, they did do it, but originally they didn't think it. They thought it was ours, and we thought it was theirs, and we know that because of spies. So I mean who had them originally? I don't know, but it
The
wasn't either of us that had them originally.
about
Do
to
we
say,
got did Hitler get them? Yes, he did, because they were shooting them down with electric pulses even back then.
nah, I'm talking about the ones they built based off of the Vedas. Remember, they claim to be the Aryans.
Right. Well, what I was talking about was the Foo Fighters.
Mm.
Yeah, the Foo Fighters. The Foo Fighters.
Oh, you're talking about shooting down the yeah.
They were shooting those down, so they reverse engineered the technology. But I mean, that's just if you allegedly,
Right.
allegedly, because yeah, let me throw allegedly on there because but I digress. I'm just simply saying that you know everything's within the realm of possibility. I think that all that I've been debating with people about this, and it's not even just a debate, but the cartouche in the Temple of Seti
Mhm.
that's like 69 feet in the air or something like that. It's so high up in the air that nobody's gonna fake it. It's not even like you can't do that. Like,
Mhm.
but uh, I digress. I'm just saying that basically that shit depicts you know, whatever you want to say. I mean, they
Oh
on
yeah.
Wikipedia they used to
Kinda
say
looks like the helicopter.
yeah, on Wikipedia they used to say um, insects, but now they just chalk it up to well pseudo historians think it looks like a helicopter. They just say that they don't know what it is.
Of course they don't. They again, the eye test usually doesn't lie.
It does. Paolo passes it.
It it's just again they suppress their is that's the most heinous shit. They're suppressing the information, keeping people subjugated, and erasing people's culture, instilling their culture to utilize aspects of it to control them. Like when you really start getting into, bro, one of these conquistadors wrote in his journal that he saw people in South America using gold discs to fly around on. He saw it. He said they would play a song on it and it would raise and then they would fly with two sticks.
That's technology.
That's high technology. Now the question is, can we do that today? Theoretically, yes.
Somebody in Florida already did it. They got a whole like amusement park apparently where you can go pay and like do the shit and like
Oh, that's dope.
yeah.
That's really
I
dope.
don't know if this is true. I gotta look this up. But yeah, apparently you can move shit with sound. But they know that. We've been on that. You
Yeah.
can move shit with sound, man. If 10 get 10,000 people to chant the same frequency.
Yep. Change the world.
You know what I'm saying?
And that goes back to the media and utilization of media to keep people distracted and afraid to utilize, I say utilize a lot, that energy for whatever agenda they want passed. You know, it's a great show, Inside Job on Netflix.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
I gotta check that
that
out.
shit's fire.
Yeah.
It's literally all the conspiracy theories plugged into a animated comic.
Oh, like that'll be like American Gods. It sound like.
Nah, it's not spiritual.
Oh, okay.
It's straight conspiracy theories.
I think that
Like reptiles, Atlantean, shadow government,
we
Illuminati.
we look across the field, right?
Mhm.
And like all of these stories really tell us one thing, and that is the human animal, or whatever you want to call it, the human being,
Mhm.
is a complex thing. It's this thing that it's this inextricable part of nature. Whether you want to say that it was whether it was created or whether it was evolved that way, or it's enigmatic
Yes.
in nature, based on what we can tell. Because yes, everything is alive. However,
What makes sense?
build me a piano and play me a symphony on it, knowing the exact frequencies, the 8 frequencies that you need to know to actually play music, which actually resonates throughout the entire universe forever. That's what music does, basically. It's like a frequency that you put out and it goes out forever. It never stops. Will somebody like on another planet hear it? No, probably not. But that you get what I'm saying. It's like when you let out a sound, like it's like the butterfly effect. Like, you know, when you let out a sound, it's a vibratory frequency that just goes out forever in whatever direction.
Mhm.
And that frequency carries things. You know what I'm saying? And we can do that. Like everything else on this planet. Whales can do it.
No, everything does it.
Well, what I'm saying, what I mean is whales specifically use, I don't want to get this wrong. I was about to say binaural frequencies, but I don't know if that's not accurate. They use sonar. Something like sonar, something more like sonar.
Yeah. Well, most
Okay.
most ocean mammals do. I mean, honestly, I bet they haven't done a lot of studies on this, but I would say that most animals or most sentient creatures do some form of wireless electromagnetic communication, for lack of a better phrasing. Just because, like, all the experiments that have been done on telepathy prove that telepathy exists. Look,
Didn't they used to call LSD telepathy?
I think so. But even before the drug experiments could die. But yeah, even before the drug experiments, they were doing. I'm talking about the FBI, specifically the FBI. Fucking documents are open now.
Right.
Um, yeah, they were doing experiments on this shit.
Yeah, the CIA, that 1983,
Okay,
oh yeah, MK Ultra too. But I'm talking about this is not even MK Ultra. This is something that just came to light. It's called the Gateway Project. You heard of it? The Gateway process. The Gateway. Astral projection. They call it the gateway.
Oh,
they call it the gateway process in the papers. That's what it's declassified. And what they found is when somebody astral projects, their essence or soul or vibration or whatever you want to call it is actually outside of space time. They don't know where it is. It goes somewhere. They've detected it. They've narrowed it down, and then it comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can train yourself on how to go and come as you please.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like they got it down to and I'm not saying that I believe that that's true or whatever. I'm just saying that they declassified this document.
I believe it's true.
I've done it. I have done it. I can teach people how to do it. I can teach somebody how to literally close their eyes, lay down, lay still. You could drape your leg or arm off of it and maybe do it on the couch so you could kind of have an anchor. Because if you're on the bed, you might get stuck in there for a little while. You might go in there for like 12 hours or something. It happens. But it's happened to me. That's why I like to drape my leg off or something. But sometimes I'll just lay straight up on the bed and do it. And you lay real still and you breathe really steadily as if you're asleep. Convince your body that you're asleep. And what's going to happen is your brain's going to start sending signals to your body like the itch, ignore it. It's going to send another one to another spot of your body, ignore it. This tells the brain, oh, he must be asleep. So the brain is still a rudimentary thing that the consciousness itself can trick. But anyways, so the brain starts to release the sleep chemicals. That's crazy. As smart as the brain is, it's still not. Consciousness is not local at all, even to the brain.
Is the brain really smart?
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But anyways, it starts releasing the sleep chemicals at that point. And this is all I was saying. But once the brain releases the sleep chemicals, these are real instructions too, by the way. This is like all declassified, and I've been teaching people how to do this for years. But once the sleep chemicals release, your body's going to be paralyzed. Essentially, it paralyzes you because when you're asleep, you're paralyzed. That's why you're like a dead weight when you're asleep. It's hard to pick somebody asleep. Oh, that's asleep. Even a sleeping child is hard to pick up. It's like your body is paralyzed by the blend of chemicals that your brain releases to put you into REM sleep, right? But this whole time, I'm not asleep. I've tricked my brain into tricking my body into thinking that I was asleep. So now I am in my astral body at that point. Now, once the body is frozen and my consciousness is still awake, and at first it's going to feel terrifying. It's going to feel like a newborn baby feels. You pull a newborn baby out and that off in that, like, you see that white light and all that, but that's not what you're going to see. You're going to actually see your surroundings, like where you are. Your room is going to look magnified. Everything around you is going to be magnified to like the nth degree. And it's going to be hard to open your eyes because, again,
you got to remember everybody's experience is different, bro.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, everybody's experience is different, but
yeah. Well, I say that to say make our statements.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying for me. This is how it worked for me.
Right.
So I was able to see everything around me like that was it was magnified, but I couldn't really open my eyes. And this is the very first time I did it. I'm like a savant with it now. I'm a lot more advanced. I'm like a 5-year-old now. I'm not just crawling around. I'm running around and I can make little sentences and tell you that I like Uncrustables. But that's about as far as I can go. I'm not a teenager yet with it. But it takes years of practice. But I digress. But all I'm simply saying is that this process that you're doing is you're teaching yourself what the ancients, like you were saying before, this is all it is ancient wisdom. The ancients already knew that the body and the mind was non-local, and they knew that you could transfer your mind, so to speak, somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what the whole point of meditation is, really.
Anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, but I digress. I just said all that to say that document that they put out, that the CIA put out, I'm glad that they did that because a lot of people think that people are crazy when they say they had an out of body experience or, all that kind of stuff. And they have it like, no, it's real. Definitely real.
It makes me go to anytime they declassify documents, right? It makes me go to what's the agenda behind it?
Yeah.
What are you trying to get out of this? Because what the fuck are you trying to get out of it? And again, like, we do this. This is a human function. It's natural. It's actually the way we have been socialized in our society, especially in this more, I hate to say secular because I'm not religious at all, but in more of a non-spiritual society, these concepts and procedures and practices don't get talked about, or when they get talked about, it becomes some sort of a mental deficiency or psychological disorder. This shit. So that is like motherfuckers need the documentation from the government to substantiate something that they already knew, and they were trained and conditioned to forget about.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
Well,
All
the calcification of the pineal gland is a big part of it. I mean, I think that's a big part of why um, people like me, it takes years and years and years. Like it's been like 5, 6 years now, and I'm like a little like maybe a 3 year old. Like,
I got one for you. Because I grew up in an environment where all of this stuff was talked about and kind of commonplace, right?
Mhm.
So because they say the fluoride in the water calcifies pineal, the this, the that, the bad food, and yeah, the bad, all is just terrible. They're poisoning us, even the air. However, I live that regular lifestyle, and I've been astral traveling my entire life. Like ever since I learned this is more than a dream, and you can do this consciously as a little kid,
Mhm.
I've been doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I've been doing that.
But it's the same thing.
As a kid, I was unconscious that that's what I was doing.
But what I'm saying is,
You were consciously doing.
once I learned that this is actually happening and it's not just a dream, yeah, off to the races.
So your experience was a little different than mine was because I kind of shut it off.
Right. And most people are forced to shut it off. I was just fortunate enough to grow up in an environment where I didn't have to at home. And in school, I just ain't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I say this because you brought up the calcification of the pineal gland. I feel like the gland is it's like a muscle, just like everything else in the body. Things atrophy when you don't use them.
Right, you got to use it.
Even if you even if you fuel it with bullshit, it'll still function if you practice.
But you know their excuse for putting the fluoride in the water. Well, it keeps your teeth clean, and the pineal gland is vegetable anyway.
And some people maybe.
But that's what I'm saying. That's their excuse though.
Of
That's like
course.
it's like, yeah, it's a vegetable organ. We don't use it. Okay, fine. Let it
Mm-hmm.
calcify. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what? That doesn't make sense at all. Like that's not scientific.
No. And
That sounds more like an opinion, like to me.
fluoride doesn't really help your teeth. It doesn't.
Yeah, the only thing that's gonna help your teeth is eating right, putting the right shit in your body, and making sure you take care of them.
Yeah, clean them. Stay away from all the
Eat
refined and
clean food.
processed sugar.
Speaking of, I need to get some grubs, man.
Damn, it's 11 already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get some rest. I told you last night was the first night I went to sleep before a certain time intentionally, and it felt phenomenal.
Yeah, well, shit, we gave them what?
2 hours
Yeah,
almost.
yeah. That's good for the first one. Shoot.
Absolutely.
People go back and probably tap into it later on.
Yeah.
Well, shit, man, this was the first episode of many. Hopefully, we're gonna make this a big thing. And I know little shit popping over here. It's your boy Sage,
Yo, it's Cameron Galloway. Hustle with
and
God.
and this is BlackGod.
The pod. Bitch.
Peace. It's not gonna let us end it.